In the time of corrupt DC, I want my money. Gravy in my veins, and my son Hunter is a junkie. With the plastic-faced wife, spray paints her dresses. My dog bites you all while I'm sniffing the pantyhose. So you ain't black, but they'll call me dark. Branded on the food stamps, burning down the country hard. Yo, cut it. Fear. I fall down the stairs. I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you impeach me?
Congressman, thank you so much for being on the program. Look at the gold chains. Man, look at this drip.
Let's go.
Look at this.
They call me 2 Chainz for a reason.
Right.
One for me and one's for my daughter.
Okay. So these are for your children.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful day. We have a bunch of Trump rally clips loaded up. Maybe we can talk through them together. But what you saw yesterday was pretty remarkable. It's something that you've come on the show and talked a lot about with us, which is the energy of Donald Trump to fight. He was in 2 different states yesterday, 2 different swing states. And then he's back at trial this morning, giving effectively a press conference in the trial. The man is unstoppable.
You know, I'm going to see him actually on Saturday at the RNC retreat. And by unstoppable, you have no idea what that means, brother. I've been on his plane with him, flying from Bedminster, New Jersey to Iowa, doing the Iowa State Fair with him, traveling around the country on his behalf. This guy is the Energizer Bunny. He came to my district actually a few months ago, and he did a rally, then he did a cocktail hour, and then he did a meet and greet, and then he did a dinner, and then got on his plane and then flew back home to Mar-a-Lago, all in that same day. He doesn't stop. And I think this is the kind of energy that we need moving forward for the country, because we're looking at the lethargicness of Joe Biden. And you know what? It's time for us to get that energy back. It's time for us to get that pro-America, America first, the guy that's going to get us out of the doldrums and get us back to American greatness. And I'm going to tell you something. It's going to take that kind of energy to overturn what we've seen for the past 4 years.
Yeah, what you're seeing right now with Donald Trump, they're threatening him with prison. They're threatening to strip the Secret Service away from him. They want, obviously, to get Donald Trump assassinated in prison. This is what's going on with Benny Thompson. This is like clearly an act of desperation. Like you don't do this if you're operating from a position of strength. You're a military man.
I am.
These are desperation tactics. No.
Of course they are. This is the canary in the coal mine for what they're saying from a polling standpoint. And every single swing state, President Trump is winning. This is very bad for Joe Biden, especially being an incumbent at this time. But also, it's the timely manner in which they are bringing up these court cases and these issues. It's why now, Benny? Why now? These are all dead, ridiculous cases that obviously should be brought forward, especially for a guy that was a former president, is running for president again and is the Republican nominee for 2024. And then now we're having these conversations right now over cases that were already dead, cases that nobody would have the audacity to bring to the floor. And I think J.D. Vance did an absolutely fantastic job on spelling this out. I don't care how you feel about President Trump. You have to look at this and you have to think to yourself, this is the weaponization of the justice system against a former president. If they can do that to him, they can do that to you. So keep in mind, that's President Trump's number one line that I absolutely love. They're not coming after me. They're coming after you. I'm just standing in their way. No truer words have been spoken.
But Donald Trump can't stand in the way. I was able to see in sort of the preview, you were cracking up on only Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
And the old vintage clips of Trump attack. This is like the guy's a fighter. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But the guy's a fighter. And he's and this has been his style for a long time, and they're tying his boxing gloves together.
Benny, people have to understand something. Donald Trump is an American icon. My children love Home Alone 2. When I watch Home Alone 2 and Donald Trump pops up, my 5-year-old, Daddy, Donald Trump. That's how long he's been in the recesses of our culture. We know exactly who he is. We watched The Apprentice. We watched him fire people. The reason why he became the president is because Americans wanted that energy. We wanted somebody to say no, to speak the truth, to tell it like it is, to go after our opponents, to go after our adversaries, to put America first, and do it in a doggish way that was unapologetic, and we knew exactly who he was. And that's why he took the world by storm. We did not want any more politicians. We wanted somebody to take the fight to the left and take the fight to those that don't want to put America first. That's it. So for those people that didn't realize that or think this is now a surprise now, we all know you watched The Apprentice, you just forgot. He's always been this way.
So there is some great energy that is happening on the trail right now. Donald Trump, obviously, in Wisconsin and in Michigan. You've campaigned with the president on the road before. I know you were in Iowa. I know you went to some of the earlier caucus states. What is the schedule like to get Donald Trump back out onto the road? It does seem like this trial is perfectly timed to stop him from campaigning right when Donald Trump is leading Joe Biden by more than he's ever led in any poll. This, according to CNN early this weekend, saying that Donald Trump's in a better position than he's ever been politically against any opponent, Hillary or Joe Biden, right now, currently. Seems like a kneecap to stop the campaign.
Of course it is. And they're trying to hamstring him by keeping him in court. And then what does he do? He gets in court. He gets on his plane. By the way, plane's really nice. Benny, it's a really nice plane. He hops on his plane and then still continues to do what he needs to do for the American people to make sure that we get him back in office, and then goes back to court, then gets back on his plane and does it all over again, because he is literally fighting for the very soul of this nation. He is fighting for his children. He is fighting for his grandchildren. And they could try all these tactics all they want, but independents are watching this, and they may not be big fans of President Trump, but they're saying to themselves, this is really fishy. This is really weird. Why are they going to such lengths to stop this guy from campaigning when he is a Republican nominee, when over half the country is going to vote for him, when he got over 70 million legal votes just a few years ago? Why are they doing this right now? And it's because they have Joe Biden. And let me tell you something. The greatest threat to this country right now is a flight of stairs, a teleprompter, and some ice cream. And when you put that up against what independents want for the future, and that's the energy to make sure that we can overturn the disaster that we've seen for the past 4 years, it makes a lot of sense. But you know what, though, Benny? I think it's backfiring, because his numbers are going up in the polls the more time he spends in court. And the reason why is because everyone knows if they can go after him, they can go after us. It's got to stop.
Yeah, so you've always been somebody, Congressman, who's struck me as not 2 Chainz. I've never called you 2 Chainz on the show. Happy to do that from now on. But as somebody who cares about aesthetic, who cares about energy, who reads energy really well, who brings a lot of energy, that's why we love booking you. So I'd like to get your commentary on Donald Trump's brand new entrance to the campaign rally. So he rolled this out last night. A very, very special, something we've never seen before, like shadow entrance with an American flag. It's unbelievably fire, in my opinion. I want to get your live thoughts on it.
Okay,
here we go. So this is going to be Donald Trump. So this is the music. The music play. So you see the shadow. Trump walks. The shadow walks up, and then he comes out around the flag. Okay. There you go. So this is the new one. The music is copyrighted, so we can't play the music. But there's roaring music behind him.
Oh,
the crowd goes wild. So thoughts on the new Trump entrance?
This guy understands branding. This man understands marketing. He knows exactly what he is doing. Flat out. When I see this, my first thought is this guy is an American badass. Period. Look at the flags. Look at the fanfare. That's what this country needs. When you look at a guy like that, the strong man in the room, the guy that walks in the room and everybody pays attention, the guy that Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping will look at and they want nothing to do with. When they see that shadow walk into their room, imagine what the world will feel like the day after this man gets elected. This is the kind of energy that we need back. And by the way, if you're looking at this, let's compare this to our current president. Can he do anything like this? He's going to shuffle around in his hokas because he can't even wear dress shoes. So when you're looking at comparing and contrasting what we can have, what we have right now, man, look, we have a very easy choice to make here in November. And when I see energy like this, it's very inspirational to me. And it also kind of reminds me of every time he goes to the UFC fights and he walks out with Kid Rock. And you and I think, are kind of a similar vintage. I mean, that's it. That is America. That is what it means to be an American exceptionalism. And when I see stuff like this, I cannot wait to see him on Saturday. I hope he does this when I see him in Mar-a-Lago.
So we actually have a UFC meme for you, sir, since you brought up the UFC. But before we play that, I did want to get like an inside the curtain look, right, of what's going on with Trump. It seems like he's aging in reverse. We see the photos, we see the energy. You actually know the man. You're hanging out with him backstage. What's the strategy moving forward? Where's his where's his head right now?
We want to get through these court cases. Number one, I think he is focused on that, beating these cases and making sure that he gets back on the road. Dude, don't worry about his energy. Don't ever worry about him. This guy does not stop. You know, it's really funny. He sent me a text the other day, and because we have a guy, Matt Topolsky, that does an excellent job with our videos and does our social media. He sends me, he's like, "Hey Wesley, who does your social media?" So I told him who it was, and I said, "And no, you can't have him." So here's a guy that's going through all this stuff in court. The weight of the weight of the world are on his shoulders, and he's like, "Wesley, you have really good videos. I want to hire your guy." That's how he is. He is not built like the rest of us. We have to understand that. And thank God he's not, because only he can withstand all of this and still be in the same mindset and still have the same frame of mind to continue to fight for the American public no matter what, not let this get him down and to keep on moving forward. The energy is unbelievable, man. I can't even begin to describe it to you, Benny.
The best way, we'd love to be best friends with Donald Trump. Yeah. We're not, okay? That's just reality. We know Don and Eric actually really well. But listen, the best that we can do on our humble show is to meme what you just talked about. And that's what we've done. And if you don't mind, sir, if you don't mind, I'd like to play you the what we've come up with and just see if this matches reality, okay? So here's our Trump UFC meme. You summoned it by saying Trump's like the man in the arena, the UFC champion. That's right. So here we go. Bonfire lit, I think, is very important part of this.
Who did this?
Sir, you're a professional. You're a member of Congress. You're a very close ally of Donald Trump. You're a close confidant of his. Does that meme match the energy?
Keep in mind, President Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame. Of course, it matches that energy. And I watched that hair-to-hair fight too. Are you kidding me? I pray he sees this. He's gonna love this. I pray he sees this. Of course, it matches that energy. And I always tell people this right now: we are living in the attitude era of politics. This is the attitude era of the world. I'm a big Stone Cold, Steve Austin guy, The Rock, Taker, Shawn Michaels. These guys. I'm that era of wrestling. That is what we have right now. We have Xi Jinping, we have Iran, we have Hamas, we have Vladimir Putin, and guess what? We need our own version of Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's Donald John Trump. And if we don't fight fire with fire, then we will lose. And by the way, everybody doesn't want to sing Kumbaya and hold hands. We need somebody to walk through the octagon, handle a business for America, and get us back to where we belong as the greatest country in the world, brother.
Yes. You can tell us, are you the one who advised The Rock to disavow Joe Biden and to not endorse in 2024? You can tell us. Did you tell us, Congressman?
Did you see my comment on X about that? Notice I didn't mention The Rock because I'm very disappointed in The Rock, okay? So how are you the guy? I mean, you're talking about laying the smack it down on people's candy asses. We're talking about the people's elbow. All this good stuff, right? Rock bottom. How are you Dwayne The Rock Johnson and then you support a cupcake like Joe Biden? It's antithetical to your whole entire brand. And then since then, he's trying to remake himself over with The Final Boss. And I got to admit, it's been pretty cool. But the best advice I think he's ever taken is the people that are watching your product right now did not vote for Joe Biden. Do not make that mistake again. Now, I want to see him take one step further. Don't just not support Joe Biden. Please tell us you are going to vote for Donald Trump. Tell us you're a real man and do the right thing.
Yes. That's That's ending on a high note there, Congressman. Tell us you're a real man.
Can you smell what Wesley Hunt is cooking?
Come on, Dana White, Vince McMahon, everything. Wesley Hunt, he's ready for it. The man in the arena. Godspeed, Congressman. Thank you so much for bringing this kind of energy. It's like it's much needed. It's much needed in the current political environment. The smash mouth, big attitude era of politics. That's exactly what it is. We're looking forward to having our champion back. Godspeed. Tell the president hi for us this weekend.
I will. God bless you, man. Thank you for having me on, Benny. Always a pleasure, brother. Thank you.